Hello students, myself Ganesh B. Aglave, working as an assistant professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. In this session of IC engine, we will see the classification. Learning outcome. At the end of this session, students will be able to identify the different types of the engines. Now, we will start studying the classification of engines. So, classification of engine. Classification of IC engine. Now, first classification. The engines are classified on type of the fuel. As we know, in the society, only two types of the engines for passenger vehicles we are using. So first is called petrol engine, and second one is the diesel engine. For petrol engine, we are using the spark plug. So these engines are also called the SI engine, spark ignition engines. And for diesel engines, the injector is used. But remember, in BS6 norms, we are not going to use now the spark plug. These spark plugs are replaced with the injector to satisfy the BS6 norms. Then second type of the engine is depending upon the type of the stroke. So either two-stroke engine or four-stroke engine So what is the difference between two-stroke engine and four-stroke engine? In these two-stroke engines, the ports are used, whereas in the four-stroke engines, the valves are used. But another main difference is here. In the two-stroke engines, the crankshaft, which develops the power, it rotates by one revolution. The crankshaft rotates by one revolution, means one revolution is required for completion of four strokes. Which are those four strokes? First is the suction stroke, compression stroke, expansion or power stroke, and exhaust stroke. To have these four strokes in the two-stroke engine, the crankshaft takes one revolution. Means what? In one revolution, there is one power stroke. So when we will see the indicated power, in that formula we are going to consider N is equal to N. Okay. Now in the four-stroke engines, the crankshaft rotates by two revolutions. This is the first revolution if this is the reference line. So this is suppose suction stroke, this is the compression stroke, later is the expansion or power stroke, followed by the exhaust stroke. So two revolutions, in two revolutions we are getting only one power stroke. So for this indicated power, for four-stroke engines, to calculate the indicated power, the N is considered as N by 2, that you have to remember. Now, as in one revolution, one power stroke is there, so for two-stroke engines are more powerful than the four-stroke engine, whereas four-stroke engines mileage is better than two-stroke engines. Now, in recent BS6 norms, as injector is used, so what is done? By modifying the engines, we got more power and more mileage also. So they are advertising that 15% more mileage the same vehicle is giving. Next type of the classification is the types of cylinders. depending upon types of cylinders, either engine will be single cylinder engine, single cylinder engine. So you have observed most of the two wheelers up to 350 cc capacity are adopting, are using the single cylinder, the single cylinder. And second is the multi-cylinder. So how to put these multi-cylinders? Multi-cylinders means more than one. So either inline engines also we can put. Inline engines means on same crankshaft the multiple cylinders are mounted. So suppose the firing order is 1, 4, 2, 3, then first and fourth cylinder are fired, second and third are fired after that. So this is the connecting rod for first and fourth, then for second and third, these are the connecting rods. And this is the single crankshaft. This is the single crankshaft. So it depends upon the firing order. Here the firing order, as I told, is 1, 4, 2, 3. So you think over for the firing order 1, 3, 2, 4 and try to draw such type of the line diagram. Okay, so these are called multi-cylinder engines. Multi-cylinder inline engines are perfectly balanced engines. Okay, now after this next type of the engine is a radial engine. So point number D is the radial engine. While designing, if the engineer finds that there is a limited space is available and the power requirement is very large, then what you can do? Circularly you can put the cylinders. Along this PCD, you could put the cylinder whose crank is this one. This is the crankshaft and this is the crank. So suppose this is the first connecting rod, this is the second, this is the third, this is fourth, fifth, and so on. So what I can do now? I can have this cylinder mounted over here. This is the second cylinder. This one third cylinder. This is fourth cylinder. This is fifth cylinder. This is sixth cylinder. In the aeroplane, there is a limited space available. So instead of making such type of inline engines, okay, circularly I can have the number of cylinders over there, where I will be getting the power on single crankshaft. Okay, so the pistons will be like this on the radial engines. Okay, so you could increase number up to 16, 22, etc. Then next type of the engine is opposed piston engine. So here the pistons are kept facing each other. This is the piston left hand side, this is the right hand side piston, and they will have their own connecting rod. This is the left hand side crank, this is the right hand side crank. Okay, as the pistons are opposite to each other, this is called opposed piston engine. We could get power on the left hand side crankshaft and the another power at right hand side crankshaft. Means single cylinder could be used for separate applications. This may drive the generator, suppose this may drive the belt, flat belt. So two different applications could be fulfilled by this opposed piston engine. Yeah. Next type is opposed cylinder. opposed cylinder type of the engine. Here this is the left hand piston, this is the right hand piston, and this is the cylinder, opposed cylinder. Okay, this is the connecting rod of the left hand side, this is the connecting rod of the right hand side piston, and this is the crank. This is the crank. So it will rotate in the clockwise direction, and this piston will reciprocate here. So to get the maximum power from single cylinder, you can go for opposed cylinder type of the engine. So these are all about the classification of engines. For more study, you could go for internal combustion engines by H.N. Gupta. Thank you.